everyone. Welcome to Technology for Teaching and Learning course. I am Ariel. Our topic is all about victimology. My members Richie, FJ, Aaron, and Harrison will discuss the lesson. Keep watching!
What is victimology? Just as criminology deals with the study of criminals, what they do it, how they do it, and how criminal justice system responds to it, victimology deals with the study of victims. Victimology is the scientific study of victimization. Its consequence how the criminal justice system accommodates and assists the victim, and how other elements of society such as media deals with the crime victims.
Victimology is the study about victims of crime. It is a criminology branch that deals purely with the underlying factors of victimization and the contributory role of the victims in the commission of crimes. Victimology, being the study of crime targets, showed that a person became a victim of crime consciously, knowingly, and unconsciously, unknowingly. A person could become a victim due to his action or fault. He somehow contributes to the commission of a crime because of his own making.
Benjamin Mendelssohn, known as the father of victimology, he coined the term for this area of study in mid-1940s. As an attorney, he became interested in the relationship between the victims and offenders, often knew each other and had some kind of existing relationship. He then created classification of victims based on their culpability or the degree of the victim's blame. His classification entailed the following: Number 1, completely innocent victim. Number 2, victim with minor guilt. Number 3, victim as guilt as offender or voluntary victim. Number 4, victims who were guilty than offender. Number 5, most guilty victim. Number 6, simulating or imaginary victim.
Typology of criminal victims: the young, the weak by age and immaturity, the female, often less physically powerful and easily dominated by males, the old, the incapable of physical defense and the everyday object of confidence scheme, the mentally defective are those that are unable to think clearly, the immigrant are those that are unsure of the rules of conduct in the surrounding society, the minorities. Racial prejudice may lead to victimization or unequal treatment by the agency of justice.
Psychological types of victims: the depressed, submissive person by the emotional condition, the acquisitive or greedy, person who wants more than what is sufficient, makes a natural victim of crime, the wanton or overly sensual, person ruled by passion and ruthlessly seeking pleasure, the lonesome, person who eventually become a victim by wanting companionship or affection, the heartbroken, one who is emotionally disturbed by heartaches and pains, the tormented, a victim who asks for it, often from his own family or friends. Other types of victims: victims with only minor guilt and those victimized due to ignorance. The victim is just as guilty as the offender and the voluntary victim. Suicide cases are common to this category. The victim is more guilty than the offender. This category was described as containing persons who provoke the criminal or actively induce their victimization.
The most guilty victim, who is guilty alone. An attacker killed by will be a victim in the act of defending themselves, was placed into this category. The imaginary victim are those who were suffering from mental disorders or those victims due to extreme mental abnormalities.
Dynamics of victimization. Victims of crime model. According to this model, these are three stages involved in any victimization: stage of impact and disorganization, stage during and immediately following the criminal event, stage of recoil, stage during which the victim formulates psychological defenses and deals with conflicting emotion of guilt, anger, acceptance, and desire of revenge, said to last 3 to 8 months. Reorganization stage during which the victim puts his or her life back to healthy daily living. However, some victims may not successfully adapt the victimization experience in maladaptive reorganization stage. Disaster Victims Model. This model was developed to explain the coping behavior of victims of the natural disaster. According to this model, there are 4 stages of the victimization. Pre-impact. Stage describe the victim's condition before being victimized. Impact. The stage at which victimization occurs. Post-impact, a stage which entails the degree and duration of personal and social disorganization following victimization. Behavioral outcome, a stage that describes the victim adjustment to the victimization experience. Factors of victimization: hedonism, materialistic culture, sex values, decay of discipline, public morality.
Theories of victimization. The victim precipitation theory suggests that some people cause or initiate a particular confrontation that may eventually lead to that person becoming victimized by injury or death. Such precipitation on the part of the victim can either be active or passive. Many criminologists believe that those whose lifestyle increases criminal exposure are more likely to become victims of crime. Behaviors such as going out late at night, associating with younger men, and residing in cities increase the chances of falling victim to crime. Therefore, one can reduce their chance of becoming victims by staying home at night, living in a suburban area, avoiding public spaces, getting married, and making more money. Therefore, the lifestyle theory holds that crime is not random, but is a function of an individual's chosen lifestyle. There are 2 kinds of victim precipitation. Active precipitation exists when the victim knowingly acts provocatively, uses fighting words or threats, or attack first. Passive precipitation. Passive rainfall, however, occurs when the victim contains characteristics that unknowingly motivate or threatens the attacker.
Branches of victimology. Victimology is divided into 4 branches, and they are as general victimology, theoretical victimology, panel victimology, and critical victimology. So the first one is general victimology. General victimology is the study of social behavior of victims for which it suffers. It is categorized into 5 types. So they are criminal, self, or how a victim harms himself or herself, social, how a victim is affected socially or how a victim is being assaulted socially, technology, when a victim gets frustrated due to technology, so natural, when a victim gets affected from the accident or when the victim recreates in its mind naturally after seeing an accident. So the second one is the theoretical victimology. Theoretical victimology is the link between a victim and a criminal, which it gives the information of geographical state of its victim to understand the behavior of the victim or a criminal, with respect to the theories having a motive to commit a crime. So the third one is panel victimology. Panel victimology is the victimology which describes the role of victim in relation to social forces that lead you to and follow criminal acts that are defined by criminal laws. So the last one is criminal victimology. So criminal victimology is a study that relates that incidents of victimization with social groups in society and seeks to point at how some social groups are structurally more at risk of crime.
The field of victimology covers a wide range of topics, including the crime victims, cause of victimization, consequence of victimization, interaction of victims with the criminal justice system, interaction of victims with other social service agencies and programs, and prevention of victimization.
And that's the end of our topic. Thank you for watching till the end.